Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the JMOR Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, and welcome everyone. Yes. Welcome to the JMOR Tech Talk Show. It is so great to be with you guys here tonight. Again, welcome everyone. Welcome to the JMOR Tech Talk Show. If you're wondering what the topic is, well, we're going to tell you in just a second. But the topic of the show is one I think you guys are going to appreciate a lot. And the reason I say this is something I believe that affects everyone, but they don't always admit, what's going on. I think that's really the thing. So the topic for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is breaking boundaries from AI innovations to gaming revolutions. And I think that's a pretty cool thing if you ask me. I mean, when we think about everything that's going on. First, I want to thank you guys for being here, whatever time of day it is, whether you're watching us live now at 5 p.m. Eastern on a Friday night, or 5 p.m. a.m., or 3 a.m., or 3 p.m., or 12 noon, or even 12 a.m. Thank you so very much for being here with me. It means a lot that you've chosen to be here with me right now. And I do want to encourage you to go to that QR code and scan it and visit believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations that are out there just for you guys. All right. So definitely check out the QR code at believemeachieve.com, scan it, and make sure that you soak up all this great knowledge. All right, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about, because there's a lot that's been going on this week. So Live Nation probing Ticketmaster hack and the user data leak concern. This is a big issue, ladies and gentlemen. You might not think it, but it's big, and it's going to get even bigger later on. So not too long ago, there was a little known cybercrime group named the Shiny Hunters. You may or may not know them. And it was to be reported that they stole user data for over 500. I didn't say 500 as just 100. 500 million Ticketmaster customers. Wow. So imagine if you were one of those people that were hacked. I mean, I'm not a big proponent of Ticketmaster and of Live Nation, but one is the parent company. And you might be saying, John, why do people hate Ticketmaster? Well, this isn't a thing about a personal reason. This is just about the fact that Ticketmaster does things wrong. That doesn't mean they should be hacked. Maybe you don't like Ticketmaster. Maybe there's other reasons. But the thing is this: why is everyone saying that they hate Ticketmaster? Well, the thing about it is that Ticketmaster seems to not be doing the right thing for everyone. When I say everyone, almost everyone. So we'll talk more about that a little later. But this whole thing about this trend that went on is crazy, and this all happened because it was in a filing that they had to make with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Live Nation, who is the parent company of Ticketmaster, said, and I quote, "unauthorized activity." So in a third-party cloud database that mainly contained Ticketmaster data and was working with forensic investigators. I don't know. My feeling is that I don't know if they really had the right security. I was never very impressed with Ticketmaster, but I think this is really going to open a lot of people up. about the the Ticketmaster 500 million hack. And you might be saying, John, this is probably a one-off. Well, I got news for you. It's something that they need to take seriously. Ticketmaster's parent company, of course, said it's investigating it. But we learned because of a security filing that happened actually in late May about this. And Live Nation said, quote unquote, there is no evidence that the data breach had a material impact on its business operations. Of course, they're going to say that. The company added that it is working to mitigate risks to its users and has notified law enforcement. Of course, they have to do that, right? According to Live Nation, they said also, quote, as appropriate, we are also notifying regulatory authorities and users with respect to unauthorized access to personal information, close quote. They have to do that. But the thing that's interesting, according to the Justice Department, the Shiny Hunters has marketed the stolen data from over 60 companies in the United States and globally since 2020. That's a big number, guys. And I want to say something else because this is a big problem, a very, very big problem, really big problem. And according to the Stock Trading Department in 2023, they actually said the victims range from tech companies to an international stock trading company to an apparel company and a nutrition and fitness company. Millions of customers' records were included in the stolen data. Now, the cyber attack comes as Ticketmaster faces legal troubles, which we'll learn a little more about that later on. But I just want to let you know about that first piece of the puzzle. So definitely, if you did get hacked, the thing you're probably wondering is Live Nation, offering like free credit monitoring for those that were hacked? And the answer to that is right now, they reveal it, but is Live Nation offering free credit monitoring? And it doesn't appear that they're stating that they are, but I would say they should. I'll definitely tell you that right off the bat. I mean, that's just no secret off the fin there. And let's talk about our friends at Meta. Yes. So Meta's Facebook sees highest young adult engagement in 3 years on their Facebook app. This is a pretty interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen. Again, they said it's the highest number of young adults in 3 years on the Facebook Meta platform. And so apparently they are getting some traction. But my question is, who is Facebook targeting? That's my question. Who is Facebook Meta app targeting? Kids, adults, who? Meta deliberately targets young users, and the reason it does this is it, as we quote, we talked about before, it ensnares them with addictive tech, and this is a big problem. The company that owns Facebook and Instagram has for years relied on both social media platforms to keep children and teenagers engaged for as long as possible in order to gather personal data and sell it to advertisers. A group of state prosecutors alleged this in a recent complaint. Attorneys general in 33 states filed a federal lawsuit against Meta. So we know that their, let's say their record's not 100% clean. And I just think it's important to recognize what's going on. The fact that they are still targeting young adults. And it doesn't seem like anything's really being done about it directly. Hopefully it will be soon. Hopefully European Union puts some pressures on them. But, your guess is as good as mine. Until we see what happens, it's anybody's game. Here's an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. There is a lady. She's actually a cookbook author. And but before I tell you about her, I think this is pretty cool. So in different parts of the country, temperatures are, breaking records, especially, in India. So you might be asking, what is, like right now, what is the temperature in India? And I think right now, if I check the actual current India current weather map, the temperature right now today in India is saying, and there's different parts, like you may know Mumbai, Raipur, Surat. New Delhi is pretty popular. That's the capital. New Delhi is 91 degrees. Yeesh. That's hot, guys. That is definitely hot. And so the person that I want to talk about, she lives in a town called Bangalore. Let me see if I can find Bangalore here. Bangalore is where she is located. And let's see if I can find her. Bangalore, India. Yeah. So the temperature in Bangalore, India, take a second to load this. It's 70 to 72 degrees, so not too bad today. But there are times when it's very, very hot. All right, so there, this lady, Nantadita Ayers, she hates cold water, really cold water. But unfortunately, when the temperatures are, rising so quickly in India, like it did this past May, in her home city, as we mentioned, Bangalore, hitting record highs, this known cookbook author and food blogger said she had to do something to stay hydrated. She knew that. She doesn't like cold water because when she drinks it, she doesn't like the feeling of it, or it hurts her teeth or her mouth or all that kind of stuff. So she turned to one of the childhood fixtures she knew called the matka. Yeah, it's called a matka, M-A-T, matka. So a matka is it's in India. It's an earthen pot used as a home water storage cooler. It's been in use since the ancient times and can be found in houses of every social class. Matki. And so she turned to the matki, and she decided this matki, which is a terracotta pot, they call it, and it's composed of two different types of clay, designed to act as a domestic water cooler in the home. Now, the thing about this water cooler, which is pretty interesting, is that the terracotta matki doesn't keep the water ice cold, but it does keep it from getting too hot. So it's not too hot and it's not too cold. It's kind of just right, like what they say, Baby Bear, right? From the Three Little Bears. So that's the thing there. I think it's very interesting, what she found, and she started using this. So, sometimes we don't realize how culture, how things that we may know about or not know about that are from around the world can actually help to make our lives a little bit better. All right, guys. So let's move on to our next topic. How many of you guys know Wordle? Well, there's Wordle and Worldle. Let's just say that 100 times fast, right? Or even 10 times fast. That'll probably get you tongue-tied. Again, Wordle, W-O-R-D-L-E, and Worldle. So Wordle and Worldle. So Wordle faces a legal battle with geography spinoff Worldle. And so what's this all about? Well, so they're in a legal tiff, if you will. The owner of the hit online game Wordle is legally challenging a geography-based spinoff called Worldle, W-O-R-L-D-E. In a filing, the New York Times purchased Worldle, that's W-O-R-D-L-E, for a seven-figure sum in 2022. It's accusing its near namesake of creating confusion and attempting to capitalize on the enormous goodwill associated with its own brand. Corey McDonald says that Wordle is about words and Worldle is about worlds. So the question I have right now is, and this is an honest question, is the New York Times, right? Is the New York Times being petty with their lawsuit over Wordle? I think they have a concern about some things, but I mean, to get this wrapped up, obsessed, it's just about control. It's just about money. That's what it comes down to. So Worldle went from a popular game, and then it was purchased by the New York Times not too long ago. And in less than 6 months, which was published around late January 2022, Wordle has gone from a gift to a viral sensation to being an official part of the New York Times portfolio. How apropos. What they say about Wordle, which I want to quote, what's nice about Wordle is how simple, pleasant, and attractive the computer interface is, according to Will Shortz, editor of the New York Times crossword. Said that limiting players to 6 guesses per day and rationing out 1 puzzle per day adds excitement to the solving process. He said it's a great puzzle and it doesn't take long to play, which makes it perfect for our age when people have short attention spans. So Josh Worldle, Wardle, a software engineer in Brooklyn, created the game as a gift for his partner. It was released to the public in October and exploded in popularity in a matter of months. 90 people played the game on November 1st. Mr. Worldle had said, and nearly 2 months later, 300,000 people played the game. To play the game, people are required to guess a predetermined 5-letter word in 6 tries. And the yellow and green squares indicate that the Worldle player has guessed a correct letter or a combination of correct letters in the placement. Now, the buzz around the game can be attributed to the spoiler-free scoring grid that allows players to share their Wordle wins across social media, group chats, and more. So the thing is, this was meant to be something very small, but then New York Times decided to capitalize and buy it. I don't know. I think they're being petty. I really do think they're being petty. I mean, it's about money. And I think anytime money comes up, it causes an issue for some people. I mean, that's just the main thing. All right, guys. Speaking of another thing, Call of Duty Op 6 joins Game Pass in major gaming shakeup. So if you're not familiar, Microsoft has a service called Microsoft, of course it's Microsoft Game Pass. And so Microsoft Game Pass is a service they offer, okay? And so basically the Game Pass service is for the Xbox services. You can start a subscription with PC Game Pass. I think it's like $9.99 a month. And you can just join for $1, but then you have to pay later on. So there are things like Octopath Traveler, Rolling His, Make Sushi and Make Friends, Fireworks. There's Humanity, Lords of the Fallen, Moving Out, Galacticare. So there's a lot of cool things. The question you might be asking is, what are we talking about? So when will it's called Call of Duty? It's actually called Call of Duty Ops 6 Beyond Game Pass. And so they're saying yes, but again, you can't believe everybody, right? So according to this, you can play day 1 on June 9th, okay? Basically 10 a.m. Pacific time, which will be, that's basically going to be 11, 12, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And you can join Game Pass. You can play day 1 with Game Pass. So that's what's going to happen. It's the worldwide reveal, June 9th. The question is this just a one-time thing? Will you always be able to play? We're not sure of all those answers right now. Microsoft, Apple, and a lot of the companies, they keep us in the dark, I believe, on purpose. So we're just going to have to wait and see, what's really going on with that. And here's an interesting one, I think, if it doesn't show a horse of a different color. Facial recognition tech misidentifies a shopper. What the heck is this all about? Well, there was a lady, I'll call her Mary, just to use a name, but that's not her name. And she was misidentified by AI technology as a shoplifter in the past. And basically, she went into a local bargain store and she wanted some chocolate. So she went to the store and she wandered in, and within less than a minute, she was approached by a store worker who comes up to her and says, "You're a thief. You need to leave the store." Now, this is a really bad thing, and I feel that this is a poor use of AI technology. This is when AI makes the wrong kinds of decisions. That's right. I said the wrong kinds of decisions. And so it was obviously a bad day for her. She was not very happy. And she says after her bag was searched, she was let out of the shop and told she was banned from all stores using the technology. This is what she says in a quote. "I was just crying and crying the entire journey home. I thought, oh, will my life be the same? I'm going to be looked at as a shoplifter when I've never stolen." Close quote. FaceWatch, head of the technology, later wrote to her and acknowledged it had made an error. It made an error. FaceWatch is used in numerous stores in the United Kingdom, including Budgens, Sports Direct, and Cost Cutter, to identify shoplifters. The company, of course, didn't really comment on her particular case, and they did say its technology helped to prevent crime and protect frontline workers. Home Bargains, too, also declined to comment about it. So it's not just retailers who are turning to the technology. On a humid day in Bethnal Green in East London, the police, as they positioned a modified white van on the high street, cameras were attached to its roof and captured thousands of images of people's faces. If they matched people on a police watch list, officers would speak to them and potentially arrest them. Unflatteringly, references to the technology liken the process to supermarket checkout, when your face becomes a barcode. I think that's a big problem, right? So, like I said, it basically cameras attached to a roof, capturing thousands of images of people's faces. This is absolutely crazy. And the day that they were doing this filming, the Metropolitan Police, no joke, made 6 arrests with the assistance of this technology. Now, that included 2 people who breached the terms of their quote-unquote Sexual Harm Prevention Orders Act, and a man wanted for grievous bodily harm, and a person wanted for the assault of a police officer. Lindsay Chiswick, Director of Intelligence for Met, told the BBC the tech's speed was extremely helpful. It takes less than a second for the technology to create a biometric image of a person's face, assess it against the bespoke watch list, and automatically delete it when there is no match. They also said, after speaking to several people approached by the police who confirmed they had been correctly identified by the system, 192 arrests have been made so far this year as a result of the technology. But civil liberty groups are worried that its accuracy is yet to be fully established, and point to cases such as the one we mentioned in the store about this innocent lady who wanted a piece of chocolate and never stole anything. Within a few seconds, though, you could be approached by the police and told the person's a wanted man. it's a little big brother watching, isn't it? So I think it's great we have this technology, but I think we're starting to use it in a way that might be against the U.S. Constitution. Right? And here's an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. Pornhub. Pornhub partners with the United Kingdom charity to fight child abuse. So you might be asking, so, if you don't know what it is, so Pornhub is an adult website that basically has all type of pornographic video information. It's a sharing website by ILO. Pornhub is a Canadian-owned internet pornography video sharing website and one of the several owned by adult entertainment companies, conglomerate ILO. Pornhub has been publicly acknowledged that they know their types of advertising is something attractive to malicious advertising, and they work hard to thwart that. In 2017, Pornhub discovered a potential ad-based malware attack and was able to prevent it before any users were affected. So the interesting thing about this is that they have partnered, okay? They partnered with this charity. And the charity, if you guys are not familiar, it is the IWF, Internet Watch Foundation. Okay, so IWF wants to stop it, okay? Internet Watch Foundation says stop it now, and Pornhub launches the first of its kind chatbot to prevent child sexual abuse. People are trying to view sexual images of children online, and when they do, it will trigger a first of its kind chatbot, which has launched to help potential offenders stop their behavior. The Rethink chatbot is what they call it, has launched on the adult website Pornhub and will engage with adult pornography users attempting to search for sexual imagery of children, minors. It will then engage users in conversations and signpost them to stop it now. UK and Ireland, where they will receive help and support to address their behavior. The aim is for the chatbot to deter potential offenders before they commit a criminal offense, helping to prevent crimes and reduce the demand for illegal material. Stop It Now runs a helpline and provides online support for people concerned about their own sexual thoughts, feelings, or actions towards children to stop their illegal or risky behavior. The chatbot was developed by IWF, Internet Watch Foundation, in a partnership with Stop It Now UK and Ireland. And MindGeek has volunteered to pilot the chatbot on Pornhub UK platform and did not receive or provide any funding for this project. The IWF is the UK's based international nonprofit which finds and removes images and videos of child sexual abuse from the internet. Whenever someone visiting the Pornhub site appears to search for sexual images of children, it will prompt a pop-up message informing them that no results exist and warning them that they have attempted to search for potentially abusive and illegal imagery. The warning also provides them with links to get help from Stop It Now to stop their risky or illegal behavior. This is the first project of its kind to use chatbot technology to get them to change their perspective. Thousands of people have already engaged with the chatbot in the first 30 days since the pilot started in March. It was actually in 2022. And search attempts potentially relating to sexual imagery of children led to chatbot initiating conversations with users. The IWF says that the chatbot has, quote unquote, immense potential to prevent people from processing down a path which could see them accessing illegal material and potentially abusing children themselves as time goes on. So I think it's great that they made this partnership and that hopefully this will get people to change their ways. This is going to bring me to a very interesting thing, and you probably know this from one of the people we've had on my show before. His name is Dr. Michael Nuccitelli, and he came up with a concept, ladies and gentlemen. The concept he came up with from iPredator, which is what his company is, and he calls it odor. Okay, odor. Okay, and you're probably wondering, what is odor? Well, odor is online defense dictates offline response. offline distress, dictates online response. Offline distress dictates online response. So what you're getting in your day-to-day, okay, environment is causing you to change who you are online. Offline, we start off, offline distress, that's within the real live world, dictates online response. And so you need to be cautious when you are around this because you're going to be in an altered state. Maybe something happened that you're not happy with. Maybe you saw something, or maybe just something affected you in a way that it normally doesn't. Well, that offline distress dictates online response. All right. Very, very important information, and great that Pornhub is doing this with the UK charity IWF, Internet Watch Foundation. So kudos to both of those people. All right, guys. AI accent softening program wins top prize. This is actually, if I do say so myself, this is pretty remarkable. This is something that I think might have a lot of potential. And you might say, well, John, what is this? So high schoolers develop this, what they call accent softening tool for call center agents, and they win a teen startup competition. This is a Seattle area high school group of students and finals of the TIE Young Entrepreneurs group. That's TYE Seattle chapter's final competition. And it will be moving them on to basically the finals. The team is called Soundwave, and they're moving on to the TYE's Global Business Plan competition, which will be happening later this month in June. So Soundwave created an artificial intelligence-enabled accent softening program for call center agents aimed at increasing customer satisfaction, and they won the top prize of $2,750. So this is pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing is, so their software basically is trying to train the agents of how they should be speaking. So I think it's a good thing, but I think also people need to realize that nothing is going to replace one-on-one live coaching. And I think that's the biggest thing I can share with you guys. Nothing is going to replace one-on-one live coaching. That's the truth, guys. You can't think that software is going to fix everything. I'm not saying that it can't help, but we have to realize that we have to take responsibility for our actions. Okay. And there is nothing better than live person training, right? To be with somebody, to get that feedback in real time. I think that's a pretty cool thing, guys. A very, very cool thing. All right. Moving on, because we have more points to share with you. Amazon expands the drone delivery with new FAA approval that they received. So this is a little interesting, if I do say so myself. Amazon had lots of, let's say, setbacks with this. And they cleared a major FAA hurdle. The FAA, in case you guys don't know, if you're wondering, who is the FAA? Well, I'm going to tell you. The FAA, ladies and gentlemen, is the Federal Aviation Administration. And so the FAA has recently allowed Amazon to fly drones out of sight of a ground spotter and enabling them to fly farther distances. But this is interesting. So the question I want to know, or I really want to ask, is when will Amazon be delivering delivering by drone to my business? And I don't know about you, but I think this is a very interesting question. They can fly further, right? But I don't think they're ready to come into our living room. I don't think they're ready to come to our business. They get FAA approval, but this is still not the be-all, end-all. They're expanding U.S. drone service after the regulators' approval, right? Amazon is the latest company to gain approval from the FAA, and the company will integrate drones into same-day delivery network they have. And guess what it's going to be called? Are you ready? Prime Air. It's interesting, guys. And I feel that there's going to be some challenges yet. So drone delivery will have issues. And the thing about, drone delivery, which a lot of people don't realize, is that there are potentially a lot of complications. There are a lot of challenges remaining. Maybe you looked out of your window and you saw a drone happen to hover near your door, about to release a package onto your front steps. But this could become more common as companies ramp up the use of drones. The benefits of such trips go beyond quickly providing a lunch order or a birthday gift. Delivery drones fly at an average speed of 30 to 60 miles per hour, which allows them to rush critical supplies to people in disaster zones and remote, inaccessible areas. In crowded urban areas, deliveries via air routes could ease traffic congestion. If the scale continues as we expect, many say, there could be many winters. Some skeptics are even questioning the current growth of projections and things of that nature. The positives: investors are putting money into drone delivery, and it's at an all-time high. Funding has reached $101 million in 2022, and it has hit $770 million in just the first half of 2023. Technology has also advanced considerably, and drones can now accurately navigate during subpar conditions such as rainstorms and bad weather. In another shift, the time-consuming process of defining regulations has become something that has changed a lot. But I think we're going to start to see that drones will be part of our world. I do feel that somebody's going to have to pay for that extra insurance, whether it's you, me, or whether it's the company. And I think the company's going to pay for it, but they're going to push it down into the products that you purchase from them. I don't know, guys. I still have an issue with drones. And you might be asking the same question. Are drones safe to do package delivery? And package delivery by drone, just so you know, is Part 135 of the Federal Aviation Administration. All drones are introduced into everyday life in the United States. From recreational flying to commercial uses, the FAA's #1 priority remains safety. And whether manned or unmanned aircrafts, the FAA requires that all operators follow specific guidelines for the operations they request. The FAA is encouraging innovation and working with industry, state, local, and tribal governments to realize the benefits of drones and inform future rules and regulations. So there is a process. They call it the 5 phases of certification. In case you're wondering, you can't just go and, just go get some drones and start using them. You have to do a pre-application. The phase starts when you have a prospective applicant and you inquire about a request or an application for air carrier or air operator license. Then after that process, you go into the formal application. Begins with a formal application is required. Documents received by the FAA certification team, such as the formal application letter, schedule events, compliance statement, company manuals, scope of operation, training curricula, management qualifications, documents, purchase, contracts, SAS element design, assessment tools, proposed operation specifications, flight attendant materials, and there is the design assessment phase that is part of the certification process when the applicant manuals and other documents are reviewed in depth to ensure compliance with applicable regulations and conformity to safe operating practices. Phase 4, performance assessment. In this part, the certification team determines that the applicant's proposed procedures and programs for training and directing personnel in the performance of their duties are effective. In this phase, the emphasis is on compliance with regulation and operating procedures contained in the applicant's manual as applicable. Then you have phase 5, the administrative functions. So in this phase, they'll issue this the certificate by the FAA and the operation specifications on specs in the applicant. The action completes the certification process. The Federal Aviation Administration will not, under any circumstance, certify an applicant until the certificate project manager, CPM, determines that the applicant is fully capable of fulfilling his or her responsibilities as charged by Title 49 on the United States Code 49 U.S.C., formerly the Federal Aviation Act 1958, FA Act, and the applicant will comply with the Title 14 of the Code of the Federal Regulations 14 CFR in appropriate manner. So it's not like you're just going to go online, download a form, and voila, you're suddenly certified. So there's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen, with AI, with security, with technology. And whether you're watching us live here on the JMOR Tech Talk Show, or maybe you're catching us on a replay, either way, it's great for you to tune in. And if you can't watch us live, you can also listen to our podcast, which actually released 24 hours after the show. So that means by the evening of tomorrow, June 8th, this will be available on our podcast network. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always such a privilege. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing Friday that I'm here with you guys. And I want to wish you guys a very happy, healthy, safe, amazing, beautiful weekend. And you know what? I'm going to see you guys next week. But this is our first show of June, which is the 7th. And we'll be on to our 2nd of June in just a little bit. All right, guys, have yourself a fantastic rest of your night, rest of your week, the weekend. And I'm going to catch you guys next week. All right. Be well, everyone. And remember, technology itself is not good. It's not bad. It's how we choose to apply it, ladies and gentlemen, that makes it so. Good night, everyone. Take care.